My endangered species is the yellow-shouldered blackbird, and it is by me, Deborah Owusu. So just to give a little bit of background information on my endangered species, its scientific name is Angelus xanthimus and is located on the mainland of Puerto Rico. They have a type 2 survivorship, of which most birds have, and they usually reside in places like dead mangroves, cliff crevices, and cactus shrubs. In this presentation, I'm going to be talking about some of the biotic and abiotic factors that could limit their population, as well as their adaptations and conservation status. Disease is a huge biotic factor that could potentially limit the growth of their population. And a common disease to occur within the birds in Puerto Rico is avian pox. Avian pox is a developing disease that has resulted from different strains of avipox virus. Regarding the yellow-shouldered blackbird, it occurs specifically in the legs and wings of the species and can be detrimental to their fitness and reproduction. Another big factor that could limit their population growth is a brood parasitism and the relationship they share with the shiny cowbird, which will be explained in the next slide. The shiny cowbird shares a symbiotic parasitic relationship with the yellow-shouldered blackbird. The shiny cowbird will lay their eggs in the nest of another species, such as the yellow-shouldered blackbird, leaving their own eggs without maternal or paternal care. This leads to a decrease in the blackbird's population because their eggs are either dying and getting replaced, or being left unattended as a result of the other eggs that belong to the shiny cowbird. An abiotic factor that could potentially limit the growth of this species could be within their inhabitant areas, the mangrove forests. Wave energy is an example of one of these factors. Vegetation in these forests cannot efficiently grow if there is an excessive wave of energy and current action. If there is no vegetation, that could prevent the species to get the nutrients they need within the environment, therefore which would further decrease the population of this species. One anatomical adaptation for the yellow-shouldered blackbird is their bills. The tawny-shouldered blackbird is a very closely related species to the yellow-shouldered blackbird, and their main difference is that the tawny-shouldered blackbird has a broader and wider bill at their base. A factor that may have caused this adaptation could have something to do with their accessibility of food and what type of food each species had access to, enabling them to adapt to those factors to survive. That could also be accounted for a behavior adaptation as well. As a result of their bills changing, the techniques they use to acquire food could have changes as well. This is a cladogram I made using the NCBI BLAST software that depicts the three most closely related species to the yellow-shouldered blackbird. The Boquerón Commonwealth Forest is a marine reserve in Puerto Rico that aims to protect species like the yellow-shouldered blackbird by doing things like creating artificial nests, designing critical habitats, and controlling the biotic and abiotic factors of those habitats, as well as trying to enhance their genetic diversity by moving individuals from their original habitat to another location to encourage reproduction within the different species. A suggestion for further research regarding conservation is to come up with ways to treat diseases that occur within species that dramatically decrease their population and their likelihood of reproducing. If the creation of treatments for diseases like avian pox occurs, the population will steadily increase along with their fitness and reproduction.